I'm Dr. Daniel Amen. I am here with my friend, Dr. Jesse Payne, and we are so excited to tell you about Brain Thrive by 25. We have been teaching this course for over a decade. It's in 42 states, 7 countries, and when we studied it, so we actually had an independent group study it, and what they found were significant decreases in drug, alcohol, and tobacco use, decreases in depression, and improvements in self-esteem. And I think the reason is because not only are you and I passionate about teaching kids and young adults about brain health, the information is smart, it's easy to use, and it's directly applicable to a young person's life.
I mean, that's the key point there. There's so many programs out there, the latest and the greatest. And being an educator myself, I've seen so many programs claim this and say that. And this is just something completely different. That's why I'm involved with this, and that's why I'm so passionate, because there's not much out there that can actually claim to make a difference in alcohol, tobacco, and other drug consumption from young people. And we've been able to do this because we've created something that's unique, that is applicable, that is relatable, and that matters to young people that take this course.
So let us talk about how we created it. So at the time, my daughter Caitlin was in 9th grade. She kept coming home with these algebra problems that I knew, in fact, because knowing her, she would never use in her life. And then the Orange County Department of Education asked me to give a talk about my work on brain health. And at the end of the talk, I floated this idea. I said, wouldn't it be great if you had a course that taught kids practical neuroscience, how to use their brains to better their lives? And Sharon Ellis was in the audience, and she was a school principal on special assignment to a program that the Orange County Department of Education had called High School Redesign. That high schools had not been redesigned in 110 years, and she said, I would love for you to develop a program. And so Jesse and I met with the superintendent of the Newport Mesa Unified School District, and I'm busy. Jesse's getting his bachelor's degree, and the superintendent's so excited, I want you to develop this course. He said, I have 42 behaviorally disordered children I will give you for like the trial course. And I looked at him and I said, look, I have my own behaviorally disordered children at home. And you know, I was just so busy that I was wondering how I'd fit it in. But as I went home, talked to Jesse about it, we thought about it, and we said, what a great mission. And so we taught the original course in 2005 at a continuation school. And we were so excited about it because nobody cut our class, that they actually recruited kids and they would crash the class.
This is alternative high school, and you have not only no absences after like the second week when people were, hey, this is interesting stuff. We had parents coming to say, my kids are coming home telling me some interesting things. I want to know about this. And it was, I mean, it lit all of us up. We were so excited by it.
Well, and the interest, because, and many students would say it's the most important class I ever took, because what I'm learning about is me and how I can really optimize myself. No book on success that you've ever read, unless you read Jesse's book, Change Your Brain by 25, or my book, Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, ever talks about the first ingredient of success in anything you do is having a healthy brain. And what I'm really proud of, so Jesse got his bachelor's degree, and then he got his master's degree studying our course, and then ended up getting a doctorate in education from USC, and now he's a professor at Corbin College, where he teaches teachers how to teach. And we have just refined this course, made it even more fun, even more practical, and you can get it for yourself or for one of the young people in your life.
Having been in education, I taught elementary school, I taught a little bit in middle school, I taught the brain science class in high school, and now teaching at university level courses. One of the things that I hear the most from young people is this was the most important and the most engaging class I've ever taken, or one of the most important units I've ever taken. And to me, that matters. That shows that what we're doing is powerful.
So let us go through what we teach in Brain Thrive by 25. And there are so many great components to it. It starts with 12 lessons. So the first lesson is basic brain facts. This is actually where we teach kids to fall in love with their brains. Your brain is involved in everything you do and everything you are. It's your brain that gets you a date. It's your brain that gets you into college. It's your brain that gets you more freedom because you act in a more responsible way, making your parents more likely to trust you or not. It's your brain that makes money, has a career, has a family. It's involved in everything you do.
And when you see this course being taught, whether it's through the videos that come attached with the course or if the teacher is teaching it to them with PowerPoints and everything that's supplied, almost always every student takes this first module, the brain basics, and they're left wanting more. Because oftentimes it's the first lesson they receive where they can see direct applicability to every aspect of their lives, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in academics, whether it's with their parents or careers or aspirations or in athletics. It applies to them, and every time I've taught it, there's like, wait, when's the next unit? When do we learn more about this?
The next lesson is on brain development. This is so important because most kids think, well, when I turn 18, I'm an adult. Except that's not a neuroscience concept. The brain is not finished developing until you're 25 in females, more like 28 in males. And if you don't take care of it during this very critical time, it can have long-term consequences that you won't like. So development is really important. And then we talk about different brain systems, what they do, what happens when things go wrong, how to fix them or how to optimize them. So we talk about the prefrontal cortex, that most human, thoughtful part of yourself and why it's critical to protect it, the cingulate gyrus, the brain's gear shifter. When that works too hard, people are argumentative, worried, rigid, inflexible. Things don't go their way, they get upset. The mood and anxiety centers of the brain. So there's some neuroscience, but it's fun neuroscience. It's directly related to them. In addition, we talk about drugs and alcohol, but you can't talk about that first. You first have to get them to fall in love with their brain. So as you said, when they did the DARE program, spent, billions of dollars on the DARE program, and they found it didn't work. And we think one of the reasons it didn't work is they first didn't teach children to fall in love with their brains, and then we actually have brain scans. Amen Clinics has the world's largest database. We have 125,000 scans on patients from 111 countries. So we're not like most academic people, where we've done research projects on, 100 people. We actually published a study on 20,000 people, and Discover Magazine listed our research as one of the top 100 stories in science of all last year. So we're really excited about what we do. But when we get to the drug and alcohol section, we have first taught them to love their brains. And then we show them scan after scan after scan of drug-affected brains. And if you love your brain, you don't want one like that.
When you think of, most teachers remember the commercial where it was a frying pan and it had the egg. It was like, this is your brain. And then it cracks open. This is your brain on drugs. And people go like, oh yeah, I remember that commercial. But no one did not do drugs because of that commercial. No one said, oh, I shouldn't do drugs because my brain's an egg. And so that's so different about what students are now going through in this is they're seeing real brains. They're seeing brain images, and you can see without being able to argue what the effects of drugs and alcohol do to a real person's brain. And we have evidence, we have research, we have images to back that up, and it is powerful for these students that take the course.
And then we teach them about other things that hurt their brain, from a lack of sleep, excessive technology, a lack of oxygen, environmental toxins. So we teach them how to protect their brains. And we say over and over, brain health is 3 things. Brain envy, you gotta care about it. Avoid anything that hurts it, and we teach them what those things are, and then do things that help it. And we go over what those things are as well. And then we actually talk about mental health issues. We call them brain struggles, but there's really nowhere in school where they teach kids about ADHD, anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, eating disorders, conduct issues, obsessive compulsive disorders, anxiety disorders. So we actually go through. So if they're struggling, did you know on average, I hate this, on average, it's 11 years from a time a child first has a mental health symptom, anxiety, depression, impulse control problems, 11 years before they get help. That's a scandal. But if they don't know that they're struggling and that there's a name to it, then how would they know to go, Mommy, I need help?
Mm-hmm. And we see that oftentimes in the course, we see people, it gives a language that they've never had before, and it provides hope that sometimes they've never had before either.
And then we talk about the brain and relationships. If you want to get along better with your mom or dad or your child or your friends, this is such a critical lesson because it shows people might struggle in relationships, and you tell this beautiful story, because they had a brain injury, or they might have had a brain infection, or their cingulate works too hard and they're worried, rigid, and inflexible. So you learn a lot about relationships, and then one of our favorite lessons is about killing the ants. The automatic negative thoughts. You don't have to believe every stupid thought you have, but there's nowhere in school where they actually teach you really important thinking skills to have a better brain and a better mind.
Absolutely, I agree, yeah.
And then we talk about the critical role of nutrition and exercise, stress management, new learning. There is so much packed into this course that can help kids have a better brain and a better life immediately. And you actually looked at it from a teaching perspective, and there are multiple ways people learn in this course. Talk about that.
Yeah, this whole course was designed with flexibility in mind, because the truth of it is that teaching is different in pretty much any context that you see it. So one teacher may have room for it here, one teacher feels like they have no room. Some teachers want to teach it themselves. Some teachers are uncomfortable with it at first, and they want resources and videos to show. And the great news is that this has all of that. I mean, this has been created with teachers in mind and with students to learn from an applicable way. And it's been, I mean, over a decade now in the making, and continuous evolving and improvements to make sure that we're providing the best possible course we can.
And it's also self-guided, so if you're a parent and you want to get it for your kids, we go through it where both Dr. Payne and I teach it together. We also have a panel of kids at different ages that go through the information as well, and their experiences, their tests to know that you're getting the information, their summary guides. There's labs, which I actually think are the most fun part, where we teach you how to make a brain. We go through lots of exercises so you can plant simple relaxation strategies in your life, or how to kill the ants, or how do I know what foods to eat or what exercises to do. There are just lots of resources, including a discussion board where you can ask questions.
We have quizzes, we have PowerPoints to use, we have activities, guided notes, answer keys for all of it. I mean, it's comprehensive and it has all the supports that you need.
If you're a young person and you want to give yourself a competitive advantage, if you're a parent and you have a young person in your life where you think they could benefit from this information, if you're a teacher or a school administrator and want this class, this course for the kids you serve, look at the information, sign up, be part of the movement. We know you're going to be excited by the information, the life-changing information that you will get in Brain Thrive by 25.